Hi guys, this is to help us convert from polar to rectangular. So you have an r, you have a theta, you have a sine, a theta, you have a cosine, and you don't have x's and y's to start with, and you want to make it into x's and y's. And here's what you're gonna basically use. You can do r squared equals x squared plus y squared. It's the same things that you've been dealing with. It's just using them in a different way. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to erase that, not make it bigger. I'm going to shrink my pictures again. And again, these formulas are on your notes, so you don't have to write them down. I just wanted to have them here so you see them. Okay. I'm just going to start with the first one, r equals 8. So you start with r equals 8, and you notice that there's no cosine, there's no theta, there's nothing that you can use. The only thing that you can do is kind of remember that whatever you do to the left side of an equation, you have to do to the right side. You have to keep it balanced. So I'm actually going to just square both sides. This one's a nice, easy, simple one. Sorry, I had an itchy nose. I had to stop and scratch my schnoz. So we've got r squared now equals 64. And if you look, r squared is the same thing as x squared plus y squared. I just highlighted it in red. Why does it not undo that? I don't know why it's not undoing that. Anyway, so now r squared is x squared plus y squared. And that's going to equal 64. And ultimately, it's kind of like the opposite or the backwards way or the reverse. That's what I'm thinking of. The reverse of that last example that I did for you, where we ended up taking the square root of both sides and we got r equals 3, right? So our radius was 3, and I stopped the video and then I started the video and I talked about how the original equation was a circle centered at 0 with a radius of 3. So this is just going backwards. So your final answer, long story short, is x squared plus y squared equals 64, and that is a circle with a radius of 8, which is what we started with, right? Okay, let's go on to theta equals pi over 2. Okay, and ultimately, when you see theta equals pi over 2, you're going to take the tangent. Take the tangent of both sides, see what that does. Because you're not going to do r cosine theta. It's not. Oh, well, I've never tried it that way. I'm going to do it this way first. Maybe I'll go back and do it on my own and not make you guys sit through it. Okay, so tangent of theta equals the tangent of pi over 2. Just remember, whatever you do to the left, you have to do to the right. So now we can actually use this part right here, that the tangent of theta equals y over x. So I'm actually going to use it on the left side. So the tangent of theta is going to be y over an x. That's going to equal, you are actually going to take your unit circle, and again, you would have it, but you're going to take the tangent of pi over 2. Go to the pi over 2 on the unit circle. Remember that tangent is y over x. It will be 0 over 1. Right? Okay, well then, just multiply both sides by x. So you get y equals 0. So that one's nice and simple and straightforward. You're like, you're right, Miss P, for you. Well, yeah, for me. But hey, this is what I do, guys. This is what I do. So let's go to our next one. R sine theta equals 3. Ready? Ready? Are you ready for this? Look at that. R sine theta equals 3. Oh my goodness. Y equals 3. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, so that one was very, very straightforward. Let's shrink that one. Nope. Shrink. There we go. And then, last but not least, let's start with r equals for cosecant of theta. You have to remember that cosecant, guys, cosecant goes with sine. So r equals 4 times 1 over sine theta. And when I say you have to remember, you just have to remember how we used our formulas and our identities. You will have them, okay? So really, a couple ways you can look at this. Ultimately, since you are dividing, 1 over sine theta is really me dividing by sine. So I can multiply both sides by sine. So then those signs will cancel, and I will have r sine theta equals a 4. And hey, r sine theta, that's a y. That equals a 4. Okay? So 2 horizontal lines for the last two, actually, is what we ended up getting. Okie dokie.